So we got these gorgeous tickets at the Bullet Train premiere, and if you can tell, it's obviously Bad Bunny's character, the Wolf. And honestly, it has been quite a while since I have seen someone get a role with a short amount of on-screen time and still manage to steal the show and leave an impact on the audience. My screen was honestly really impressed, but you can call it what pride if you want, but Bad Bunny once again proves why he is the definition of a superstar. Hello, everyone, and welcome to For the Agenda. My name is Huang, and today I am here to review Sony's newest film, Bullet Train. Now, first off, I would like to thank Sony for the invitation for the screening. I am so glad I got to see this film ahead of time. It was one of my most anticipated films of the year, and now having seen it, I'm actually really glad I get to talk about it right now. So, this film is directed by David Leitch, who gave us John Wick, Atomic Blonde, Deadpool 2, really great action films. And Bullet Train stars Brad Pitt, who plays this unlucky assassin who wants to do his job peacefully after too many jobs have gone off the rails. But his mission puts him on a fast moving bullet train with other lethal assassins from all over the globe, and they find out that their missions have something in common. Simple plot, easy to follow, easy to enjoy. Now, fun fact, this film is actually based on an actual Japanese dark comedic thriller novel by, I want to get the author's name right, Kotaro Isaka. I hope I got the name right. I really hope I didn't butcher it. I'm so sorry if I did. But this novel was released in 2010 and it was translated into English last year, actually. I'm going to start there. I really like this film. The trailer kind of does this film a disservice because not only does it show a lot of the movie, like you can go into this film blind without seeing a trailer, perfect. But the trailers make it seem like this film was going to be John Wick meets Murder on the Orient Express. And while that concept sounds really cool, this film isn't exactly that, but what it does deliver, honestly, is pretty good either way. This film also has a star-studded cast. Like, what a lineup. Everyone here does a really great job. They really elevate the film. And not only that, every character here has their purpose and realize it really well. Sure, you do want to spend more time with certain characters, but the thrill ride is worth getting on just for these performances. Honestly, I really can't say there was a weak link for me. I think everyone did their job. There were standouts, which we're going to get to a little bit later. But overall, I thought the cast was really great. And seeing a lineup like this, obviously, you're worried if the film is going to be focused on all of these actors on screen, that they're all playing these characters rather than focus on the story. But here, for me at least, they got the balance right. Now, I gotta say, right off the bat, this film is chaotic as fuck. Like, it is wild to the point where I was looking at the screen and I'm like, one, I didn't see this coming. Two, what am I watching? But to be fair, a film that's chaotic is also kind of my brand. So it works out even more for me. Also, the film is very bloody. I was not ready for some of these shots. I was a little taken aback, I'm not gonna lie, but I didn't mind it as much. I was just, taken aback to see certain kill shots, if we will. Let's leave it at that. I also found this film to be really funny. You might have seen some critics say that the humor here it's grating or it's trying to be more clever than it actually is. And the film right now is getting mixed reviews, which not gonna lie, kind of expected. But to be quite honest, you're either gonna vibe with this film or you aren't. It's gonna divide audiences, but if you like the humor in a film like Deadpool, you might laugh because this film's comedy borders on ridiculous humor, but also has some really clever setups and some really great banter. So if you like that kind of humor, I think you're gonna enjoy this. And also, there were a couple of cameos I was not expecting, and I was honestly, I didn't see it coming. I was really surprised, and I really liked those cameos. Personally, I hope that they do not get spoiled for you. You know, Unfortunately, this is a film that people are going to want to talk about. So if you can see this right away, perfect. The film is a lot of fun, and it's very much a 2000 style action film. Like, Picture 2004 to 2006, where the movie was very stylized and over the top, it was exaggerated, and that was the point. Like you weren't there because you thought that the action scenes were so realistic that you just had to appreciate it like it was poetic cinema. No, you were entertained because it was fun to watch people beat each other up. It's honestly more of an action packed fun time with some drama rather than an action packed drama than some may lead you to believe it was going to be. The film is meant to entertain you and thrill you with the action spectacle pieces. Granted, you're not getting like John Wick level fight choreography, but I personally liked what they did. I thought it was good, it was entertaining, it got me from point A to point B. It's not the most inventive fighting, but it works. What else did I like about this film? Well, like I had mentioned, this has an amazing cast who all give great performances. And here are some of my standouts. Top of the list, I gotta start off with Lemon and Tangerine, the twins played by Brian Tyree Henry and Aaron Taylor Johnson. They were the standouts for me, especially Brian Tyree Henry. I was most entertained when they were bantering on screen. The dynamic between these two was electric. They had great chemistry. They were hilarious and they played fantastically off each other. It was just so great to see that banter between them, really. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, there is another person who I feel deserves a shout out who, for me, was the definition of deserved a bigger role, but makes the most of what they are given. And that is, of course, you guessed it, Bad Bunny. Look, I genuinely think that Bad Bunny does a great job, a really great job, especially for his debut film role. You can see the star power he has. His presence on screen, I felt, was unmatched. Now, if you're going to see this film just for his performance, I gotta lower your expectations a little bit because, again, he's not in it for as long as others would maybe like to have seen. I am part of that others group. I wanted to spend more time with this character, but I'm really still happy with what we got because he still leaves such a great impression on you that as a fan, you're going to feel really proud of the work he did. He proves that he is more than just a global musical sensation. He can do whatever he sets his mind to. And you know what? Don't worry. He's going to be in Sony's upcoming El Muerto Marvel movie. So clearly, Sony sees something in Bad Bunny like a lot of people do. Now, another person who is absolutely fantastic is Sandra Bullock. We know her, we love her. She is an iconic movie star, one of my favorites of all time. She has given us some iconic performances, and she is one of the last remaining movie stars. That is undeniable. And she, for me, is two for two. This year, she also released The Lost City, a great performance. Now, Bullet Train, she's done it again. Did we have any doubts? No. Because guess what? It isn't easy to deliver her lines with a straight face and still make the audience laugh. And she's not even on screen. You hear her voiceover, and you still like the character. You still are entertained by this character. That takes movie star level talent. Also, her co lead, Brad Pitt, you know what? He delivered for me exactly what I was expecting from him. He brought back old school Brad Pitt, which is refreshing. It was hilarious. But again, I expected that from him. He is a highlight and he is a movie star, but I wasn't surprised with how good he was in this performance. I expected it and I didn't expect any less. I actually would have been disappointed if I got less, but that wasn't the case. Also, I've heard people say that they feel this film is a little too long. I personally didn't feel that, and I'm pretty good at noticing some uneven pacing or if a film needs to be cut down. But here I was so entertained and having a great time because I went along with the chaos that this film provides. I didn't notice the time go by. I was actually having a great time and I didn't want it to end. So it's all in how you move with the film. Now, this film chooses to tell the story in a non-linear format, which, I'm not usually a huge fan of all the back and forwards and the cutaways and changing perspectives. But here, even though it was told out of order, I thought it worked. I thought it was great. I actually enjoyed what they did in terms of how we got to meet each character. And for me, that works. It could have gone really south, but I do think they pull it off. Now, another thing I loved about this film is that it touches on Japanese philosophy, and what they delivered here I thought was really well done. And the philosophy, in a nutshell, states that your destiny is written and you can't control it, you have to live it. And the bullet train, pretty much in that sense, takes you to your destiny and you can't control it or get on or off it, as you see what happens with the characters, because it draws you right back, even though you stray away from the path. I really liked how they made that work. It's really well realized, and when you look back at the film as a whole, you start to see that throughout. And honestly, it was really well realized. Now, by no means is this film considered a think piece. It's mindless popcorn, summer blockbuster fun. But that part right there really, really was so clever and smart that I really appreciated it. I think it added a little bit more to just the mindless action film. Overall, if you want to have a fun time at the movies and watch an action crime comedy that's kind of like a throwback and homage to that earlier 2000s style, you should absolutely check this out. For me, this is definitely a film that I know it's going to divide audiences. You're either going to have fun and enjoy this, or you won't. You know what? It's as simple as that. You could either be really entertained or find it exhausting. I don't think there's a middle with this film. But honestly, you gotta buy a ticket to find out. And that is what I recommend you should do. Check this movie out in a theater near you. If you're hesitant, go for a matinee, the first show. Again, I was looking forward to this film. I like that 2000 style action comedy. For me, it was a great time all around. My rating for this film, it's going to be an 8 out of 10. I had a blast. It was a lot of fun. I was entertained. I laughed. It was kind of what I was expecting, throwing in some things I generally wasn't expecting. This is a film that is meant for more of like a mainstream audience who just wants to have a good time. The heat outside, it's killer. You want to sit in air conditioning for like 2 hours and you want to be entertained. You don't want to think. You just want to go in there and just enjoy yourselves. For me, this is a great option to do so. And especially if you're down to enjoy the chaos and not try to overthink the movie and the choices being made. You just go with the flow. This movie was not meant to be a think piece. It's there to entertain you, and that's the mindset you should have going into it. You just enjoy the action, you laugh, you have a great time, and that's it. That is my review of Bullet Train. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, you can hit the like button and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. And you can follow me on Twitter and on Letterboxd at Leading Mohicans. And remember, regardless of what others feel about the things you love, it's always for the agenda. Bye.